You know, it's been almost 2 weeks now since the FBI came in and raided 3 different school corporation buildings. And really there's been radio silence from the leaders throughout this community on it. There was quite a bit of press the first couple days, obviously, a lot of buzz in town, and then it just kind of went quiet. And what we have heard out of our leaders, out of the school corporation and out of the school board, was basically nothing to see here, business as usual. And those words, business as usual, I can't get over them, because if the FBI coming in, raiding the heart and soul of a community, which is your school corporation, if that is business as usual, we have a major, major problem here in Vigo County. And so I wanted to address it. The conversation has to continue to be had. And so it's something I feel passionate about. I'm passionate about this community, and I want to see us succeed and progress. And when we have something like this happening, which is it really is a monumental event, there needs to be conversation about it. I want to see leadership. I want to see somebody stand up and say, corruption will not be tolerated. I want to see somebody stand up and say, if there were any illegal business dealings, it will not be tolerated. Now, it is first and foremost important to know and recognize that here in America, we are innocent until proven guilty. And so my statement here has nothing to do with the innocence or guilt of anybody. But what it has to do with is being a leader and saying, the FBI came in. The FBI does not go on fishing expeditions. Something is amiss. Whatever that is, once it is addressed, we as a school board, we as a school corporation, will find out exactly what has been happening, and we will not tolerate it. And we need a definitive statement from that school board that says this, whatever has happened, cannot continue, will not continue, and you know, we just haven't seen that. Instead, again, last night we hear this is business as usual. It cannot be business as usual when the FBI comes in and raids your school corporation.
Well, don't you?
And I would say that for the teachers who are getting their classrooms ready already, it is business as usual for them. For the bus drivers who are going to be getting their new routes, without a doubt, that's business as usual. But when we're talking about the school board is not doing day-to-day activities to get classrooms and school buildings, facilities ready. They are leaders of this school corporation. The superintendent is supposed to be the leader of the school corporation and a leader in the community. When they sit back after the FBI has come in and taken well over 100 items from the school corporation, many of those directly related to the superintendent of the school corporation, when they can sit back and say the day after that happens, that nothing to see, this is business as usual, it just doesn't sit well with me, and it doesn't sit well with many people in the community. And I feel very confident in saying I'm not just speaking for myself. Obviously, I'm out and about in the community. I work out in the community and talk to a lot of people. And to a man, they have said, what is going on? How can they say this is business as usual? And what is the school board? What is the superintendent actually doing to let people know that the Vigo County School Corporation is working for the people of this community, and not just circling the wagons and trying to protect themselves in one way or another? Well, I would say obviously everybody knows that with the FBI investigation that we're not going to know exactly what the next steps are very soon. This is going to be probably a longer than shorter situation that we face here. I think what they want to see is that, you know, we have a school year starting up here in 2 months or so, and what is the plan out of the school board? What is the plan out of the Vigo County School Corporation headquarters, that when school starts up, that this is not a huge black cloud that sits over every single school in this county for the next school year? And I have complete confidence in our teachers that they will be professional, and they'll go in and they will work every day and do what they need to do. But there will, if these situations, if this situation is not addressed in a manner that can put people at ease, it's going to be a very, very tough school year. Public trust is a huge issue, and right now I would say that the Vigo County School Corporation and the school board are going to have a big problem with public trust at this point. And so the longer that they just sit back and continue that mantra of business as usual, nothing to see here, they're not going to be able to let people know that it's okay, that you can trust us, because now trusting that entity has obviously led to an FBI raid and something that is really a black eye on this community. Obviously the school board and the Vigo County School Corporation we are entrusted with the most important part of this community, and that's our children. And when we see the Federal Bureau of Investigation come in and raid 3 different buildings, and then again they step back and say, don't worry, this is business as usual, and everything is going to run as is, and we're not going to address it at a school board meeting until we shut the doors, and then we'll talk about it. How can the public say, okay, we trust what is happening, we trust you moving forward? So that's why I say there needs to be some sort of proactive statement and actions from the Vigo County School Board before this next school year starts. Yeah, we've seen the board has had a handful of meetings now. I know that 2 of them have been closed to the public. And so, that doesn't help when we talk about public trust. The school corporation deals with well over $100 million worth of public money, and it's a very important process that they work through. And again, as I said, they have the most important resource in our community with being our school children. So to come up. There certainly is not a textbook on how to move forward with this, and there's not a guide, an easy 1, 2, 3 step guide on what to do. But the people who were elected to run the school board and entrusted with that need to be the leaders that they were elected to be and stand up and work towards that. We have a situation, unfortunately, in this school corporation and in this county, I believe, where we have a school board which, unless you have been supported by the superintendent, if you do get elected, you will not get elected again. And that school board, unfortunately, which has been handpicked by the person that they are supposed to be in charge of, and unfortunately, they've got themselves in a situation where we have a school board which basically reports to the superintendent. When you have a school board that is being directed by the superintendent, that is not a situation that is healthy for a school corporation or for any institution that is set up where there is a board and then there is a chief officer. So we need a school board that has members that will not capitulate to a superintendent. We need leaders, and that's why on my Facebook post I said we've got 3 open seats here in November, and we need 3 new members. And I certainly stand by that statement. The school board is an extremely important part of this community, just as the superintendent is, and if we do not have people on that board who will stand up and be leaders in the community, that on their watch there are not FBI raids, and a situation that has developed where they are being directed by the superintendent, then we need new people on that board. Yeah, I'm certainly elected myself, and I'm not worried about retribution. Danny Tanous has worked against me as hard as he can every single election, and he has seen to it that as much money is put into other campaigns as possible. So no, that other campaigns against my own. So no, I'm not worried about that, and I'm not worried about ever having retribution for doing the right thing. And the right thing right now is standing up, saying that our school corporation is in a crisis. To be able to acknowledge that we have a crisis and that we need leadership is not a bad thing. It's the right thing to do. I will certainly sleep well tonight knowing that pointing out that we are in a situation where we need leaders, and we need a school board and a school corporation to acknowledge that moving forward, it cannot be business as usual. Then I'm fine with that.